Hi and welcome to this week's energy forecast. I'm Rachel Thompson Phillips, the creator of the BEYOU Oracle Cards and also of the Sacred Oracle online program. This week's energy forecast is for June the 28th through till July the 4th, with the overall theme of how to break the pattern of self-sabotage. Let's go in and explore these beautiful messages coming through the Oracle cards. Monday and Tuesday is the card of change. Wednesday through till Friday is the card of speak your truth. And the weekend's message is the shadow self. Now, with the beginning of the week being the card of change, of course, there's been so much radical shifts and change. We have been through so much turbulent times because we've Mercury retrograde has just gone direct as of June the 22nd, so that was last week. You've had the full moon last week. There has been so much stuff, all the baggage coming to the surface for you to have assessed, revise, revisit, and realign back with the much more highly evolved version of self. So naturally there is going to be a time of shifting change, and this may be something that can sometimes encourage lots of tears to come up. There's tears of change, tears of pain, tears of frustration, and tears of joy because you finally are accessing more and more and more truth within your own self. You've been able to see your limitations. You've reconnected with those pain points that have been harboring so much resentment. There's probably been a moment in time where you were learning to forgive yourself for all of the ways in which you have treated and spoken to yourself. The card of change, as you can see in the card, is about having this mask. And the message at the bottom, it says, positive change is occurring on a soul level. It is safe for you to emerge from behind the mask. Now, you may have felt that over the last couple of weeks as we've had such intense energy, that you have kept yourself at a distance for people, not because you're wanting to hide, but because you just needed time to be able to process yourself. And now you're having an understanding that operating from that feminine aspect within your own self, being softer, being more nurturing, and accessing the strength that the femininity that brings through is being able to show you that it is okay to access your truth. Yes, there are moments that it is confronting. What you also access is not only is it confronting, but you're also confronted with choices, and you have decided to make the choice being you. You've decided that from this moment forward that you are going to commit to your overall sense of well-being and mental and emotional wellness because you want more for your life. Now, the taking the mask off is taking off the mask where you may have said when those fears came to the front, oh, it's fine, I can do this, this, and this. You've actually given yourself permission to feel into them. You're actually feeling into what it would be like if you continue to stay from that place, and that is generating momentum for you to continue moving forward in the direction that you want, using that as a catalyst to remind you that you don't want to be in the same place in 3 or 6 months' time. You want to have evolved, you want to be able to learn your lessons and use those lessons as examples that you can use in your current situation to motivate you moving forward. It's about taking off that mask of thinking you need to be 10 foot tall and bulletproof, that you have all this spiritual awareness, so these things shouldn't bother me, and yet they have. You've given yourself permission to feel into your own pain and being able to come out the other side with such a deep, profound understanding of your truth and your past And that is powerful. The full moon has highlighted that, and you have given yourself the chance to surrender and let that go under the full moon. Now that is Monday and Tuesday is all around being able to see that. You may not see all the changes occurring outside just yet, but you know that there is a stirring and a shift and a transformation that is occurring internally, and that is where life-changing transformation begins, is from within. So please be patient with yourself, Monday and Tuesday. Now midweek, the gorgeousness of Speak Your Truth. Your pain points that have been revealed to you, the places that have held on to so much resentment and hurt, have now shifted into a place of recognizing where you are and where you want to be. And this is where we start speaking into our truth. It's going to be about speaking into your truth of what you want, being able to honor that and embrace it, because you now have so much clarity about where you want to go, who you want to grow into, what that requires, what you need to stop doing and what you need to start doing. So those moments where you catch yourself slipping a little bit, you're going to be able to speak your truth and go, who do you want to be today? How do I need to show up? And what does that require me to do? And that will initiate that grit and that determination, because that is what's required at the beginning as we make massive changes, is that grit and determination to know, to remind yourself that you want more, and it's okay to have more, which means you're going to have to show up being different. You're going to have to shift your mindset and realign it with the direction that you want, and you're going to have to catch yourself out on your own BS. And this is where being your own most amazing cheer squad is going to be important. With this message of Speak Your Truth, it is also important to speak your truth on the wins. Don't keep focusing on the shifts that you want to make. Every time you make a shift, remind yourself how proud you are of yourself. Remind yourself of how courageous you are when you find that there's a hint of the past coming in. This is this moment where you can step into your power through speaking your truth, and you may find that your throat starts to be able to articulate words more clearly. Anything that was blocked in there has moved away from that, and you're accessing your own truth from a space of pure love. And now you're going to support the love that you have for yourself and the love that you have for your visions and dreams of the person you want to be, the dreams that you want, the life that you want to lead. You can now speak your truth to yourself and own that, because it's when we own it that we can attract it and allow ourselves to receive it. And that's the most important thing. Now, the weekend's message reveals the shadow self. Now, whenever you are on the journey of transformation, your shadow self is always going to reveal itself. Now, I want to share this message with you. When you are shifting through old patterns and cycles and breaking away from the old version of self, your soul is going to present you with opportunities to strengthen your new skill set in your emotional mastery, in your mental acuity, and elevate your emotional IQ and mental IQ, giving you the chance to trial and test. Just like any other skill that you do, you're always going to be tested to see how much of it that you know and what areas in that new growth requires strengthening. So let me share with you what I mean. Say you want to be able to learn to start saying yes to you, which requires you to say no to other things. What your soul will do will give you opportunities that will go, okay, how are you going to strengthen saying yes to you is by giving you opportunities to say no. So girlfriend calls you up, hey, you want to catch up? Let's go out. Let's go and have a few drinks. And yourself, you're like, actually, I really want to stay and start working on these dreams and visions. I've got things to do. Normally you would go, okay, let's go have a great time. Think of feeling good now, and I'll come back to that. And the whole moment while you're there with your girlfriend, like you're pretending like you're having a good time, and sometimes you are, but in the back of your mind, your soul's saying, hey, what about that commitment you made to yourself? So again, it presents that opportunity for you to go, hey, thanks so much. I really dig that. I'm unavailable right at the moment, but I'd love to catch up with you tomorrow or the next day. Boom. You've said yes to you. And so it will keep presenting these opportunities for you to strengthen these new skills and qualities that you are growing into. Yet a lot of the times when this happens, we freak out and go, oh my God, like, why does it keep happening? I want to change, but why is all this old stuff coming up? The more that we start to have a different perception on how our soul is working with us, the more that we can harness it and embrace the journey of transformation. We don't just wake up and we're magically transformed. We've got to do the inner work, and this is what is required. Now, please remember, the shadow self is like the beautiful yin and yang sign. As you can see in the card, there's the light and the shadows. We are a combination of both light and shadows. Our shadow areas, our fears, our doubts, our ways in which we can still be strengthening and working on the things that you've said, you're speaking into your truth, is to be able to recognize that it is a natural extension. You have said those types of language, you've treated yourself a certain way, you've done certain actions and behaviors and cycles and patterns for a long time, and it's going to take practice to be able to get that. Be patient with yourself and recognize that you are a combination of both light and shadow. And those shadow areas, we are meant to revisit as an opportunity to allow that to ignite you to be able to move forward and remind yourself, I don't want to be here in 3 or 6 months' time. I actually want to be here. So revisiting that in the past is an ignition to power you forward. Although sometimes we tend to go back to the past and get stuck there. You're supposed to be a visitor, not set up house there, okay? So please remember that. Revisit, be that objective observer, see what you're supposed to learn from that lesson, move forward. Don't get stuck there. Nothing good's going to come from that. You know that, so I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. Our shadow self is also that beautiful part within ourselves, and when we learn to work with it and not see it as darkness or the deep-seated skeletons in the closet and keep that part separate from us and hidden, it becomes an area that has greater opportunity to pull you down. Open the door, be a visitor, look to see what's in there. That's exactly what your soul was saying, to keep that momentum, to be a driver to motivate you to move forward. So, and the more that you keep the door open to the shadow self, the more you let light in. Darkness can only stay in the darkness when we keep it hidden. The more you bring light to it and honor it and embrace it, the more that you can transport the knowledge that you learned from that time and space and use that to be a catalyst to keep you going. So everything is always working to be able to help accelerate your personal, spiritual, and soulful journey. It's always in our perception on how we perceive any experience that we occur. If your mind is wired to only see the negativity, or that it's me versus the world, that's how you're going to see these life experiences, rather than taking a step back and going, I am working in unison with my cosmic team. There is no I in team. My soul is helping me. My human part is afraid, and that's okay. It's never done this journey before. But the difference is you have obtained so much knowledge that is undeniable, that you get to access at these challenging times and be able to bring through that wealth of wisdom forward in these moments of challenging times. You are also working with the universe, because the universe wants to bring you beautiful things, but you've got to do the work. And as you can see, we've heard the expression, I think it's Gabby Bernstein, that says, you must show up first in order for the universe to come through and support you. And you can see this throughout the journey of the week. Monday and Tuesday, journey within. Be patient with yourself. Know that shifts are going on within your own self. You showing up and taking that first step to allow that and to remove the mask. Again, we move through to the midweek where we're speaking our truth into the existence of the next step that you're taking, the new world that you're creating, the more, I'm not going to say the more evolved, it's just that version of self that has less emotional baggage attached to it. So there is more of a lightness within your own self. And as you're speaking into it, you're communicating with the universe, stating what it is that you want to manifest. And then with our soul, it comes back into the shadow self, reminding us that you're in the journey of evolving and transforming. So don't be afraid of your shadow self. Work with it. If you have a look at the yin and yang sign, it is in a beautiful circle, and that we go through the light and we also go through those darkness as a chance to be able to shed more light on it and give you an opportunity to see how far you have grown. So it's a huge week coming up above. You have all the tools necessary within your own self to be able to get through this coming week. Please remember that. Work with your cosmic team. Pull out your cards. Ask the question of how can I co-create with my cosmic team and see what beautiful message comes up for you. Remember, the more you communicate with your soul and the universe, the more they know what it is that you're looking for and how they can best support you. So I wish you an incredibly amazing week ahead. Much love. Take care, and feel free to leave a comment below and let me know how this resonates. And always remember that you are always being divinely supported in all of your endeavors, and that you have everything within you to be able to go through the journey of transformation and break those patterns of self-sabotage. So take care and look after you.